You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the January 17th, 2024 meeting of the Michigan City Parks and Recreation Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Welcome to the Michigan City Park Board meeting on Wednesday, January 17th. If you'd rise, repeat after me, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic of which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will, would you call the roll, please?
Yes. Mr. Freeze.
Here.
Mr. Glidden.
Here.
Ms. Sperling.
Here.
Mr. Hoffman.
Here.
Here.
Before you have the minutes from the meeting of January 3rd, are there any corrections or additions? If not, do we have a motion to accept the minutes?
Oh, I move that we accept the minutes from the previous meeting.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Do we have any project updates?
I will have one later in my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Before we go any further, I'd like to welcome Roscoe Hoffman to the Park Board. Welcome aboard, and
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
we'll try not to snow you with all the work.
Yes, sir.
Old business, accept the quotes for Patriot Park concession lease. And are there any other quotes? If not, close the submission period.
So, Mr. Freeze, there were no quotes submitted again. This is the second time we bid out our Patriot Park concession lease. So I would ask the board to again table this and give us permission to rebid.
Okay, not having received any bids. Do we have a motion to table the 2024-2026 Patriot Park concession operation, allowing the superintendent to try for some more bids?
I would move that we table the quoting for Patriot Park concession lease.
I'll second it. Sorry.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
With this, where are we at again with the rents? What do they pay?
So the last 3 years, coming off the pandemic, it was $400 per month was the base rent. Prior to that, it was $1,600 was average. So that was in our first bid that we recommended $1,600, and then also allowed the bidders to add a percentage of their sales to that if they wished. We got no bids, so we knocked it down to $500 per month plus percentage of sales if they wanted to go that route, and still didn't receive any. So, and we sent this out to 17 different local vendors. So I'm a little surprised that we didn't even receive one bid. So yeah, we're gonna have to do a little homework, call around, find out why they're not bidding, what's stopping them, what are the barriers, how do we remove them? We've talked about going the food truck route if necessary, even if it's several different trucks and they alternate days, but we definitely need the service. So yeah, we'll have to do a little homework and try to get someone to bite on this.
And how many months is it that?
It's April through September with the option to renew for October if there's tournaments.
Yeah. And then it's Bubbles who's done it in the past, right?
Correct.
Okay. Do they have any figures that we can use when we're talking to people about, what the opportunity is out there?
So the Bubbles lease did not include the requirement for a financial report. The new concession lease does have that requirement, and Bubbles didn't have it broken down. So between Patriot Park and her other business.
Mm.
So she really didn't want to share that information
Oh,
because it becomes public.
yeah,
But that will be a requirement moving forward that they have to share their financials. That's always a requirement if they bid the 5% or 10% of their gross monthly sales.
Right.
Because we require their monthly tax returns to
Right.
calculate.
And is there any history before Bubbles had it?
Yes, but I mean, it's old history.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have the history. So
Okay.
what we base it on more right now is here's the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
This is how many people will come through the park. This
Okay.
is the schedule. I'm trying to let them try to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why there's such a lack of interest.
Yeah. And was that included in the bid packet, like the numbers of how many people that we have going through? Okay.
And the schedule.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thanks, Shannon.
You are.
Yeah, it's surprising, a very active schedule for Patriot Park, summer ball and tournaments. Thank you for the information, Shannon.
You're welcome.
Table business, to accept the quote for Millennium Plaza Landscaping Service and Award Contract. Do we have a motion to remove that from the table?
I would move that we remove from the table the quote for Millennium Plaza Landscaping.
Second it.
All in favor, say aye. It's down, Pam.
Opposed? Motion carries. Shannon's ready.
So the board received in your packet the Millennium Plaza Landscaping Services. As you'll see, we reached out to 5 vendors. We only received 1 bid from Servicegate, who was our vendor for the last 3 years. The contract is the same, and their bid does fit within the money that we have budgeted for these services. I'll remind the board, this is a 3-year contract. You do have the right to renew or terminate annually. So I would recommend that you accept the bid as submitted and approve the agreement between owner and contractor.
Any comments from the board? Questions? Any public comments? With that recommendation, do we have a second to approve Servicescape's bid?
I would move that we accept the Servicescape bid.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is the election of officers. And we need a president, vice president, and a secretary. And we'll take the any nominations for a park board president.
I would move that I nominate Phil Freeze as park board president.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions?
Yeah.
Call for the vote, please.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And park board vice president for 2024. I would like to nominate Ms. Sperling.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And as park board secretary, did such an amazing job for last year. I'd like to nominate Mr. Glidden.
Outstanding. I'll second that.
There we go again. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And we have appointment of liaisons for it should be 2024. Planning Commission, Port Authority, and Zoo Society Board. Mr. Glidden and I have been liaisons, myself to the Port Authority and Mr. Glidden to the zoo. And we agreed to continue on that. And Mr. Hoffman, I would ask that you be our liaison to the Planning Commission, and we can get that information from Shannon.
Okay.
And so that you are up to date on that.
Wonderful. Yes, sir.
So,
I will accept it.
okay, thank you. And you're going to accept the vice presidency?
Yes.
And Tim, you'll remain the secretary. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
New business, we have the 2024 Michigan City Youth Baseball and Girls Softball League packet. Reading through there, again, pretty inclusive. I just had one question. The T-ball, excuse me. The T-ball, is that boys and girls, male and female?
The league?
But it's a T-ball, yeah. Youth baseball, 4 to 6.
That's all co-ed, as far as I know. Yeah.
They're all co-ed.
They all are. Okay, thank you.
Regarding the seasons, it says here 2023 season. I'm assuming that was just a typo.
Yeah,
It should be 2024.
2024, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, there's a couple other places where 23 needs to read 24.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other questions that from the board? No? On the sports information, each team and each manager gets a copy. Do we have a list of, or does Mr. Krasinski have a list of people or companies or vendors who have sponsored teams in the past?
Yes, he does have a list. I guess I should have included that in the packet. But we're still finding vendors for this year or sponsors for this year.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions from the board? That's the only thing I had. On the last page, page 404, that needs to be up at the top. It needs to be attention Shannon Easton instead of Mr. Shin. Otherwise, I don't have any other questions. Are there questions from the public?
President Freeze, I do have one quick comment. Our maintenance director suggested that we run our T-ball leagues at Gardena Park this year instead of at Trail Creek, which makes a lot of sense financially and also resource-wise with his staff. They're already at Gardena Park doing maintenance on a weekly basis, so we'd be maintaining our own ball fields to a high standard. And we also reduce the cost of porta pots, which is around $3,000. It will save each year.
Oh.
So unless our leagues expand to the point that we need to move back out into Trail Creek, great suggestion, Pat. I appreciate the savings and also looking at the quality. Quality is just going to be better for everyone. So
Thank you for jogging my memory. We had mentioned that before. It's a great idea. Yes, Tim, you had a.
Will we be at both diamonds? But we'll knock the mound down at the bigger field?
We currently use portable mounts, so we're able to put it on and take it off as needed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Comments from the public? Good. You have a motion to accept the 2024 Michigan City Youth Baseball and Girls Softball League packet.
I would move that we accept the 2024 Michigan City Youth Baseball and Softball League packet.
I'll second that, sir.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Still dealing with action at Patriot Park. We have a memorandum of understanding between the Michigan City Park Department and the NSA BPA for management of Patriot Park. We have had an agreement and working association with the NSA and the BPA. I don't know how many years now, quite a few. And from my perspective, it has worked out real good. Shannon, is there any comments that need to be made?
No, I'd just like to thank Will for updating the MOU for this year and just let the board know that our attorney has reviewed and approved it, as well as our insurance carriers.
Questions on the board? Any public questions or comments?
I have a question about
Okay.
page 3, paragraphs 8 and 9. The 21,499. That money goes into our operating budget. The money they paid for the 23 weekends, 21,000, almost $500. And in paragraph 9.
You know, honestly, I don't know if that goes into our RUC operating or RUC non-reverting, but I can definitely email the board tomorrow and let you know.
And then paragraph 8, the 10,000, where does that
The
go?
10,000 goes into Patriot Parks gifts and donations for capital improvements.
And does that fund have a balance now? I mean, we had 10,000 the year before and the year before.
Yes, it would have a balance. I
So
can get that information to you as well.
Would that fund be a source of revenue for adding to the parking out there?
It will not be anywhere near what we need.
No,
to
but
do
it's
parking lots, but can you use it for that? Absolutely.
Right, and
Yes,
we
we
can go
still
to the city council and say, hey,
Yeah.
we have X amount, can you help us out with the rest? Because we have a beautiful park, but now that people are using it, we need to have it, people can't walk to it, they have to go out there, we have to have safe parking.
Yeah, and just to remind the board, I did send our new mayor a list of short-term and long-term project goals for our department, and those parking lots were on there as a priority.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now they 10,000 for park improvements, that helps take care of the maintenance of the fields, if they use them every week. That's one thing to do.
What, is that two separate funds that are in, 10,000 and the 21,000, or?
Yes, I just don't know if the 21 goes to, we have two recreation funds, one's non-reverting. So it funds itself and it'll have a balance from year to year. And the other is operating what you don't use at the end of the year. It's gone. So I'm just not sure which fund that 21,000 goes into. But I will email that to the park board.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Tim, did you want to table this till you find out, or?
No,
Okay.
I'm assuming that there's money in that fund that we would be able to use it to use it as seed money for the parking.
Okay, do we have a motion to accept the memorandum of understanding for the NSA and PBA?
I will move that we accept the MOU with the NSA PBA.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
The next item on the agenda is retainer agreement. And
So the retainer agreement that was in your packet originally was not for the board's approval, because this agreement was approved by the corporate council as well as Mayor Meir, and does not, it automatically renews and it's never been terminated. However, after speaking with Attorney Nuremberg, their fees have gone up. So our monthly retainer goes from $1,250 to $1,500 per month. That's an additional $3,000 per year. After speaking with our corporate counsel this morning, we believe that's a fair amount. It hasn't changed since the year 2016. In addition, hourly litigation would go from $150 an hour to $175 per hour, only when necessary. We have identified the additional funding in our budget, so we are able to pay for the raise, and the signature copy that President Latchford has does outline the two changes there, and it is signed by the corporate counsel. And then additionally, in order to get a purchase order now, our city controller requires a checklist. It just has purchasing thresholds. Professional services has to be approved by the park board and signed by the park board president. So there's an additional signature copy on the back of your agreement.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That good explanation. Any questions? Do we have a motion then on the retainer agreement for 2024?
I'll make a motion to accept the retainer agreement.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We have a report of officers, the superintendent's report.
One new
Oh,
item.
I'm sorry, yeah.
The item D is a change order number 2 for the senior center remodeling project. This was to do some drywall work when they removed the reception desk. Also to flush mount 3 of their floor drains after they installed the new floor, and to add a window to the director's office that gives her a better view. There's actually one window in the plan, but it doesn't give her a great view looking out onto the floor of the center. So that was a change order done in the field. The total for the change order is $6,865.34. And if this is approved tonight, this will complete the senior center project.
Would you repeat that amount again?
Yes. $6,865.34.
Any questions? Comments, questions from the public? We have a motion to accept this change order in the amount read.
I move that we accept the change order for $6,865.34.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
And now Shannon, superintendent's report.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank our former park board president, Phil Latchford. He served on this board for 23 years. Phil served with honor, integrity, and always with fairness. His knowledge of our department has led us through many, many difficult and uncertain times, and he always had the best interest of the park department, our staff, and the citizens of Michigan City in mind. He will be greatly missed by myself, the other board members, and our entire staff. But I'd like to tell Phil, enjoy your time off because it was very well deserved. Secondly, an update on the old bandstand project. We had a pre-construction meeting in the field on January 8th when it was a little warmer outside, thankfully. Right now they're working on it. We're going to put a few photos up. The work is well underway already. Perimeter fencing has been secured. The scaffolding and heated plastic bubble is in place. Excavation of the foundation has been completed. And right now they're working on restoring the railing system. So they've gotten a lot done in a very short amount of time. Just to remind the board, the grant funding on this project expires on June 30th, and they are very confident that they will exceed their schedule and meet that deadline. Also today, a ribbon cutting ceremony was held at Walker Street Park to unveil the first of 2 pantries in the park. The pantries are the brainchild of our staff member, Kayla Shabloski, and and the pantries provide non-perishable food, household items, and hygiene products to the residents in our neighborhoods. A huge thank you to our generous sponsors, Well McLean, Burnham Brewery, and the Michigan City Exchange Club. They purchased all the materials to build the pantry. Nick Pollock of the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters volunteered his time to build the pantries. Kayla herself went out to our maintenance shop. She painted them and put the logos on. She also did a few food drives, so it was incredible how much food we had this morning to actually stock our first pantry. Burnham Brewing did a food drive over the weekend where they discounted some of their craft beers if you would bring items for the pantry, and they are going to continue to do that. So there's a lot of interest in this, to the point where we could probably open up a grocery store at the rate we're going. So congratulations to Kayla. The Carpenters Union, that was just today.
Yeah.
At the ribbon cutting, said that they would find a way to build these pantries completely free to the park system and put them in every single one of our parks.
Wow.
So we are gauging the success of the pantries. We'll be measuring and weighing the food that goes in them and just keeping an eye on them. So we know what our success rate is. My guess is that yes, we will be expanding these to all of our parks in the very near future. Again, thanks, Kayla. She's always looking for ways to engage with the public and get the Parks Department out there where the residents can see us. The maintenance department, on January 10th, our maintenance director, Pat Bolts, and foreman Chris Kaufman, Keith Rucker, and Ricky Jackson all attended 2 Indiana Pipeline Awareness Association training sessions, named When Seconds Count, Pipeline Safety, Know How to Respond. The first was an excavating safety class for digging safety, and the second was for first response in the case that a pipeline is damaged. The training was designed to hone skills and build knowledge about pipeline safety, connect with local pipeline and gas distribution operators, network with fellow first responders and operators, and plan a coordinated response. This is hugely important to our department as we have 2 high-pressure gas lines running through our properties at Patriot Park and on Lakeshore Drive. And I remember years back when there was one of the pipelines in Washington Park was hit. It was an evacuation situation. So this training is to make sure all of our staff in the maintenance department knows how to react and who to connect with very quickly because it's a dangerous situation. So thank you, Pat, for being really proactive in this training and finding it. It was free. It was at Blue Chip. So it was local, and I hope we never have to use it, but I feel very confident in our staff that if we do, they'll be able to react quickly and in the proper manner. Also in the maintenance department, they logged 89 hours of plowing and salting during Winter Storm Jerry. So I appreciate their hard work and effort. Not only were they out taking care of all of the park properties, they also stepped in to help the other city departments keep the alleys, intersections salted, dead end streets plowed out. So again, thank you very much for calling your staff out on the weekend and making sure our city was clean and drivable. At our golf course, the overhead door project has been completed. And then I'm going to turn over all recreation reports in the future to Will because he's handling all of our recreation. So that is the end of my report.
Thank you. Any questions for the superintendent? Okay. Will, do you have any info to pass on today?
Yeah, with the approval today of the youth baseball and softball packet, registration for that will open up tomorrow, online and here in the office, and it'll be open all the way until April 8th, which extends through spring break, so more kids can come sign up on that week off. Along with that, we're working on utilizing a software that we have called Jarvis to upload all our camps, clinics, leagues, and facility rentals all to online rentals. We're already paying for it, and we just found out that it's capable of doing a lot more than what we're using it for. So just getting the most out of it. We're preparing the City Kids Day Camp for the next board meeting on February 8th. And we're also working on finding immediate solution for pickleball courts for when the weather breaks. And hopefully we have that figured out pretty soon. That's it.
Thank you.
Guy that scored 74 points in the basketball
Oh,
league that we have.
Our Park and Rec Basketball League is going well. We just finished the third week and we did have somebody score 74 points in a game.
A team or a player?
A player.
Oh,
So he
okay.
scored 74 and the other team scored 79.
Oh.
It
That was a close game.
was quite, it wasn't a close game, but it was impressive to watch. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But the league is going well. It only has 5 teams in the first year, but it's already a lot of interest for people wanting to join in the next round. So that's
Good.
good.
That was Mr. Burks. I think it was Mr. Burks.
Yeah.
Any questions for Will? The planning commission liaison report, Mr. Latford isn't here and Mr. Hoffman will be taking over. And like I said, we'll get with Shannon and she can give you the information on that. Is that they don't meet weekly or monthly all the time.
Okay, yes, sir.
Port Authority, I did go to the meeting and there wasn't anything that would be of concern to us that I could report that was covered. Anything, Bruce? You got anything? Mr. Glidden?
I don't believe the Zoological Society's met yet this year. I have no report.
Okay. Attorney's report.
I don't have anything specific to report, but thank you. I'm glad to work with the new board. It's gonna be fun.
Any director's reports?
No, sir.
Mr. Glidden, Department of Finance.
The claims docket for January 17th, 2024 municipal, $22,841.36. And that represents the total claims, $22,841.36. And I would move that we meet the claims docket.
Second it?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I have the payroll number 26 for 2023, 12/10 through 12/23, pay date 12/28. Total payroll was $68,646.43. And I would move that we accept this payroll.
Second it?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I have the gifts and donations from multiple people, 18 people, zoo donations online, animal sponsors, $1,528.25. Mark Woodkey, zoo donation, animal painting, $85. James Lytle, a zoo donation miscellaneous, $100. I would move that we accept these gifts and donations.
Second it?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Credit card charges. Credit card charges totaling $2,324.44 were paid to corporate payment systems for the following. Amazon.com, Recreation Helmet Rack, $350.50. Office Depot, Zoo, a gift shop, desktop computer, $460.09. Amazon.com, Zoo, gift shop, miscellaneous office supplies, $332.54. Walmart.com, Zoo, gift shop, first aid kit, miscellaneous items, $459.67. Amazon.com, maintenance, channel blocker, transmitter, $205.80. Amazon.com, maintenance, Ion Flex gloves, large, $210.60. United States Postal Service, administration, stamps for letters to Santa, $52.80. Amazon.com, maintenance, Ion Flex gloves, extra large, 4 pair, $144. Amazon.com, senior center nameplates, $33.43. And Amazon.com, senior center pictures / monitor stand, $74.95. I would move that we approve these credit card charges.
Second it?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Set the report, you finished with that report?
That's it.
Any comments from the public? Comments from the board? Again, I'd like to welcome Roscoe Hoffman to the board. And there were a few of us out there this morning dedicating the food pantry. And I'm Mrs. Shablonsky brought back as much food as there was in the pantries. It was great participation. And I was surprised at the number of people that were there despite the not so nice weather. So it really was very nice. And the boxes, they are well done. And I certainly hope that they serve their purpose and not an outlet for aggression from stupid people, vandals. Anyhow, I really thank everybody that had a part in it. Any other comments? Move to adjourn?
So moved, Mr. President.
Mhm.